Hey, what's going on, guys? What's happening YouTube? You guys have tuned into Rules for Rebels, and I got kind of an interesting business story for you guys, kind of a current event. And before we get into that, I kind of going along with this theme or this story. I don't know if you guys notice this or not at all. Let me know. Drop a comment down in the comment section below. But it seems to me that there's never been such a division, such a contentiousness, such an us versus them kind of atmosphere or mindset between employees and companies, or employers and employees. Probably before my time, but I remember looking back on when my father was employed, and kind of having a very I don't know, maybe it's cheesy to say family atmosphere at work, but there definitely seemed to be a sense of talking to my father and my grandfather of you worked hard and dedicated yourself to an employee and to an employer, and were loyal to them, and you were rewarded and you were taken care of. And now there seems to be kind of an atmosphere of employers are willing to cut corners, and even to save a penny are willing to get rid of somebody and essentially kind of ruin somebody's life or put somebody out of a job just to save a couple bucks. And there's really no sense of loyalty. Nobody cares about their employees anymore. And what we're starting to see now, and I see a lot of articles about this as well, is we're starting to see now a lot of articles come out employees are ghosting employers. And now that it's a very employee friendly job marketplace, there's tons of jobs, unemployment is really low. Now that we're in a very employee friendly marketplace, you're starting to see employees are starting to kind of be less courteous to employers. But I've never really seen before such an us versus them atmosphere in the workplace, career space, whatever. And so I guess, I always try to have some kind of lesson or takeaway from these videos. And so in this story that I'm about to tell you now, the takeaways: if you're an employer, if you run a company, don't be an asshole. Treat people right. And I think that's something that's going away, and I think it's something that workplaces would be more productive. Companies would be more successful, employees would be happier if people kind of followed these rules. And you've probably heard the phrase, it's just business. And to me, when people say it's just business, it means they're about to do some kind of asshole-ish type thing. Saying it's just business is kind of like saying no offense, but right? No offense basically means I'm about to say something that's going to offend you. And saying it's just business essentially means I'm about to do you wrong, but it's just business. So anyhow, here's the story, and I'll link to. There's a couple articles down below. I don't have the articles in front of me. I'm not reading off of them, so hopefully I kind of capture everything here. But last Friday, employees of there's a company called Ultimate Nutrition. Ultimate Nutrition is out of, I believe it's Hartford, Connecticut. It might be Massachusetts, but I'm pretty sure it's Hartford, Connecticut. Ultimate Nutrition is a supplement company out of Hartford, Connecticut. And last Friday, 150 employees work for this company. Last Friday, 150 employees, they finished their day at work. Bye, guys, we're heading off for the weekend. They leave for the weekend. Monday morning, so what's that? Yesterday morning, they return to work, right? And upon returning to work, the doors are locked, and there's a sign on the door. And I might make the sign the thumbnail so you guys can read it. If I don't make the sign the thumbnail, the article has a picture of the sign, and/or I'll put a link to a IMGUR photo. But upon arriving to work, there's a note on the door, and the note on the door says, "This is notice that your employment has been terminated." It goes on to say that we recommend you leave the property as to not be subject to trespassing charges. We wish you the best. Oh, you'll be contacted with a packet in the mail. We wish you the best of luck. Nice, right? And so here's a couple things about what a dick move this is. So, first off, I mean, this is trivial. Not that it really would have made anybody feel better, but even if you're a complete asshole, say something. It's just common sense is you say something we appreciate your years of service. At least pay a little bit of lip service to these employees who've worked for you for years. I believe this company's been around since I don't know, like late, maybe 1976, 1984. So it's been around for a while. I'm sure they have some employees who've been with them for quite some time. At least say something about we appreciate your years of service or something like that. So I thought that was kind of shitty that they didn't do that. Here's another shitty thing. How about rather than firing people with a sign on the door on Monday morning, how about you tell them at the end of the day on Friday, so that they don't have to wake up in the morning? Like, you know, it's bad enough you're going to fire me, but you're going to make me wake up in the morning and drive all the way into the office to be fired by a sign. Like, that's dick move number 2. And this aspect of it, I hadn't even really thought about. But one of the articles kind of touched on this is a lot of people leave personal property at the office, right? Like, you know, I personally am not somebody who's ever like dressed up a cubicle or whatever else, but you know, you've worked at a place for a while. Maybe you got some books there. Maybe you leave like an iPod or a pair of headphones or something in a drawer, a phone charger. A lot of people had personal property still at the workplace that they're unable to get. Now, this same day, on this Monday, the company shut down their Facebook profile, which had over 1 million likes. They shut down their Instagram account, which had over 100,000 followers. They shut down their phone lines, and they shut down their email. So none of these employees can get in touch with the HR or anybody else. These employees are worried that they're not going to be able to collect unemployment, since the company is just like totally disappeared essentially. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing about this story. I think some reporters and stuff have reached out to them, no comment. And here's an even weirder thing. Like, a lot of times before a company closes down a branch, closes down a location, goes out of business, like, it might not be leaked to the lower level employees, but normally like HR, like upper management will know. A number of people were interviewed in these articles, and upper management had no clue. Pretty much everybody was kind of blindsided. Now, this company had filed for bankruptcy back in 2014, but you know how airlines, car companies are filing for bankruptcy every couple of years. They don't actually go out of business. They just file for bankruptcy, kind of get rid of some of their creditors, and kind of things continue as usual. So this company has had some financial trouble in the past, but according to all the employees interviewed, like, nobody really had an inkling that this was going to happen. It wasn't like they were missing payroll or missing paychecks or anything like that. A couple employees did say they thought it was kind of weird that the company hadn't really been ordering supplies or ordering equipment needed to run the machines. Like, they'd kind of stopped ordering a couple weeks ago. And a couple people, in hindsight, after the fact, are like, oh, okay, now I kind of see the writing on the wall. But it seemed like everybody was completely kind of blindsided by this. So, kind of sucks. 150 people lost their jobs. But I thought kind of the real shame and the really kind of shitty part of this story is kind of how the company kind of did their employees. The company, Ultimate Nutrition, their website is actually still up online, and they're still taking orders. So despite cutting off all contact with all their employees, locking them out of the office, shutting down the social media accounts, they are trying to squeeze out a couple more bucks. I'm assuming trying to sell out of whatever inventory they have left. And I'm not sure how they're going to ship that inventory since they have no employees. I don't know if the CEO himself is going to be shipping those out, or maybe like family members or something like that. But hopefully nobody orders from this company, and they wind up kind of, at the very least, getting a taste of their own medicine and kind of getting stuck with whatever inventory that they do have left. I think it's pretty clear why they shut down the social media accounts, because not only would the employees be trashing them on social media, but people like me and you and probably other people who have a sense of decency, or really just like, I think I've made a video about this before. There was a video I made maybe back around Christmas time where I think it was like a vape company basically were being complete assholes to this guy in Instagram on a DM who was inquiring about like a customer service issue, and they started calling him names and cussing at him, and literally within a couple hours it made it to the front page of Reddit. People forced this company to take down their Instagram account because they were being bashed so badly. And I'm sure this company, they were at least smart enough to realize that people would shit all over them on social media as well. So they just went ahead and took all the social media profiles down. More than anything, I just thought it was kind of an interesting business story. Something that I kind of think about from time to time is how, the relationship between employees and employers, in my opinion, or at least what I notice, is very contentious. And I think it's because of companies doing things like this that's the case. But would love to kind of hear your opinions. Like, do you agree? Do you think it's like the relationship or the tension between companies and employees, or employers and employees? Like, do you notice what I notice, that like it's more volatile? It's very much more so us against them than it's ever been in the past. And I think it's because of incidents exactly kind of like this. But I thought this was an interesting business story, and I guess if there's any lesson to be taken away from this, it's, you know, you can be in business, you can be successful, you can make money, you can kind of stick to your guns and be firm, but you don't have to be an asshole. You know, you can be successful without being a dick. So yeah, just thought it was an interesting story. Wanted to share it with you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Drop a comment down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you on the next video.